Tieu Ca's life seemed to be gradually returning to its rhythm. Everything was beginning to settle down after the storm she had endured. Her daily routine was slowly being restored, carrying with it a new sense of hope. But then, today, an unexpected event occurred, turning everything upside down. What happened to Tieu Ca? What was the unexpected twist? Let's find out right now as we uncover this dramatic turn of events. This morning, instead of preparing her usual basket of vegetables for the market, Tieu Ca decided to check the chicken coop. Yesterday, while feeding them, she noticed that several hens had laid quite a few eggs. "Looks like I can gather a good batch today," she thought. Her eyes sparkled with hope. A few dozen eggs sold at a good price could buy her some fish, a little rice, and ease the worry over their next meal. She picked up an old bamboo basket and gently walked across the dew-soaked yard, heading toward the coop at the back of the garden. Each step echoed softly in the quiet morning air. The scent of straw, the clucking of hens, and the golden sunlight pouring through the leaves painted a peaceful rural scene. Bending down, Tieu Ca gently lifted the warm straw, picking out each plump egg one by one. Her face lit up when she saw that every nest was full, a simple yet heartwarming satisfaction. So focused was she on gathering eggs that she didn't notice a pair of gentle eyes quietly watching her from afar. It was Hung. No one knew when he had arrived. He stood silently, leaning against the old starfruit tree, his gaze full of tenderness as he watched the petite girl bent over gathering eggs. Her face glistened with sweat, strands of hair clinging softly to her forehead, yet to him, it was the most genuine, serene kind of beauty. She turned around and caught his gaze. A bit startled at first, she smiled. "How long have you been here?" Hung stepped closer, a gentle smile blooming on his lips like morning sunlight. "Just got here. I was about to call you, but you looked so focused gathering eggs, I thought I'd just watch you for a bit." Without waiting for her reply, Hung bent down to help her pick up the eggs. His hands, usually used to handling paperwork and typing, now carefully parted the layers of straw, as if he were touching something precious. The two of them worked in silence, but that very silence made the air between them feel surprisingly intimate. When the basket was full, Tieu Ca let out a small breath and wiped the sweat from her forehead. "Let's go to the stream to wash the eggs. It'll be easier to sell when they're clean." Together, they walked down to the stream. The cool, crystal-clear water flowed around large, smooth stones, glistening under the sunlight. Tieu Ca sat down to gently wash each egg, while Hung fetched water, occasionally teasing her, drawing bursts of laughter from her lips. Everything felt light, familiar, as if they had known each other for years. "The eggs are so pretty today. I bet the ladies at the market will be fighting over them," she said cheerfully. "If I could," Hung replied with a teasing smile. "I'd fight too, but not for the eggs for the one selling them." She froze for a second, still holding an egg, eyes flickering with surprise. Hung said no more, just smiled softly, but his eyes said everything he didn't. After finishing up at the stream, they carefully placed the clean eggs back into the basket. Laughter, the sound of water flowing, and the whisper of the wind intertwined, creating a moment that neither of them wanted to end too soon. Hung stood up, brushed the dust off his sleeves, and turned to her. "I've got to head back to the office. Do you want me to give you a ride to the market?" Tieu Ca nin vao gio trung so jo nin len anta, gyong noi kwa ko memmai. Anji truok. I still have a few little things to take care of. I'll head to the market a bit later. All right, just take it slow, okay? The sun's getting hot around midday. I know, you take care too. They exchanged a look, one that went deeper than any farewell, filled with unspoken meaning yet completely natural. Hung turned and walked away, his figure gradually disappearing behind the rustling bamboo grove. Tieu Ca remained still by the stream, watching him go. Her hand tightened slightly on the handle of the basket. A gentle smile formed on her lips. Her heart stirred a quiet yet powerful rhythm, a feeling she had long forgotten. Even after Hung had left, Tieu Ca lingered by the water's edge, her eyes still tracing the narrow path where he had vanished. There was something indescribable blooming inside her, warm, soft, and quietly overwhelming. She held the basket a little closer and turned to head home, eager to prepare for her trip to the market. She carefully wiped each freshly washed egg and arranged them neatly into the straw-lined bamboo basket. Her hands moved gently, a smile played on her lips, and her heart brimmed with a quiet joy. Everything today felt so light, as if life itself had grown softer and kinder since Hung appeared. Tieu Ca lifted the basket onto her shoulder and made her way to the market under the softening light of the afternoon sun. The familiar village path looked unusually beautiful today. Each step, each breath she took was filled with happiness. She hummed a few lines of an old folk song, her voice gentle, her step steady, moving to the rhythm of her heart. The basket is full of eggs, and so is my heart full of joy, she thought, her smile unwavering. The afternoon market was gradually filling up. The sounds of haggling, vendors calling out, and casual chatter filled the air. Yet even in the noisy crowd, Tieu Ca stood out. It wasn't just the basket of fresh eggs she carried, it was her face, brighter than usual, her sparkling eyes, her rosy cheeks, and the soft smile that seemed to hold a secret happiness. A few older ladies selling fish and vegetables glanced at one another and whispered, "Tieu Ca looks different lately, doesn't she? She's glowing. Must be something good happening." And truly, the entire market seemed a little livelier with her presence. The eggs clean, pristine white, and still carrying the warmth of the straw, drew the attention of many shoppers. Before long, they were all sold out. As the market slowly wound down and the sky began to turn a soft orange with the setting sun, Tieu Ca packed up what was left, brushed the dust off her hands, and hurried off to pick up little Han, her beloved son, the light of her life. With only a few weeks left before Han's summer break, Tieu Ca was making the most of each day, working hard to earn a bit more, while also preparing for the joyful days of mother-son time ahead. Despite her busy schedule, she never missed an afternoon pickup. To her, her son's smile and warm embrace were the most precious rewards after a long day of struggle. As she walked, her thoughts drifted to what she would cook for Han tonight. Then to the look in Hung's eyes that morning. Two images quietly intertwined in her heart, one of motherhood and one of a new affection slowly blooming. The heart of a single mother, once thought to have gone numb after all the pain, now knew how to stir again for her child, and for a man quietly entering her life with genuine warmth. Tieu Ca quickened her pace toward Han's classroom, her heart still lifted by the success of her day at the market. It had been a good day. The sky was clear, her spirit was light, and she was eager to see her son again after hours apart. But then, just a few steps from the classroom door, she stopped dead in her tracks. The smile vanished from her face. Her eyes widened in shock, quickly shifting to panic. Outside the classroom window, she saw a figure she recognized instantly. Him, her ex-husband. The man who once abandoned them was now lurking by the window, peering inside at Han. Worse, he was quietly edging toward the door, clearly planning to pick Han up from the teacher without her knowing. Tieu Ca rushed over immediately. "You have no right to touch my son." She forcefully pushed the man aside and quickly scooped little Han into her arms. Her eyes were sharp with vigilance and her voice firm as she turned to the teacher. "From now on, only Hung and I are allowed to pick up Han. Do not hand him over to anyone else under any circumstance." Before the teacher could even respond, Tieu Ca gave a quick nod and turned away, holding her son tightly as she walked off. Her ex-husband, the man who had once abandoned his family, hurried after her. "Tieu Ca, please wait. I just want to see our son for a moment. I heard you were sick the other day. Are you feeling better now? How have you and the boy been? Are you two doing okay? Is everything all right?" Tieu Ca kept walking, clutching Han close to her chest. Her face was stone cold. Her voice, when it finally came, was dry and distant, without turning her head. "We're fine." He paused for a moment, frozen in place, then, suddenly, he dropped to his knees right there in the village path, the grass still damp with the late afternoon dew. "Tieu Ca, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I know I was a terrible husband, a terrible father, but I've changed. I've got a job now. I'm working hard. No more gambling, no more drinking. I just want the chance to see my son grow up to start over." Tieu Ca stopped, but she didn't turn around right away. She held Han tighter. The boy, confused, too young to understand what was happening, but old enough to sense the heavy air around him. At last, she slowly turned around. Her face no longer showed anger, but neither did it soften. Her eyes were calm, her voice gentle, but sharp like a blade. "If you've truly changed, then that's a good thing. Do your best to live a good life. I've forgiven you, but not to give you a second chance. I forgave you so my heart could be at peace, not to let you re-enter the lives of me and my son. We've been through enough. Be a decent man, live a useful life, and don't come looking for us again." With that, she turned away and continued walking down the narrow path. No tears, no turning back, only the blazing red of the setting sun ahead, as if it were burning away all that was old and painful. Little Han rested quietly on his mother's shoulder, saying nothing. And Tieu Ca, the woman who once fell, now walked forward stronger than ever before.
Cuộc sống của Tieu Ca tưởng chừng như đang dần đi vào quỹ đạo. Mọi thứ bắt đầu ổn định trở lại sau những sóng gió. Nhịp sống thường nhật đang dần hồi phục, mang theo hy vọng mới. Thế nhưng ngày hôm nay, một biến cố bất ngờ xảy ra khiến tất cả mọi thứ như muốn đảo lộn. Chuyện gì đã xảy ra với Tieu Ca? Điều bất ngờ ấy là gì? Hãy cùng tôi theo dõi ngay sau đây để cùng khám phá diễn biến kịch tính này nhé. Sáng nay, thay vì chuẩn bị gánh rau xuống chợ như mọi ngày, Tieu Ca quyết định ra chuồng gà. Hôm qua lúc cô cho gà ăn, cô đã thấy rất nhiều gà mái đẻ. Chắc hôm nay gom lại cũng được một mẻ kha khá, cô nghĩ thầm. Ánh mắt sáng lên đầy hy vọng. Vài chục quả trứng bán cũng được giá. vừa đủ mua ít gạo, mắm muối mì chính, lo cho bữa cơm trưa. Cô xách chiếc giỏ tre cũ nhẹ nhàng bước xuống sân nơi những con gà đang đẻ trứng. Từng bước chân đều đặn vang lên giữa không gian thanh tĩnh của buổi sớm. Mùi rơm, tiếng gà cộp tác, nắng mới còn vang nhạt. Tất cả tạo lên một khung cảnh đậm chất quê yên bình. Tieu Ca cúi người, tay vén lớp rơm ấm, nhặt từng quả trứng tròn đều. Nét mặt cô rạng rỡ khi thấy ồn nào ồn đấy. Mỗi một